Hey guys, Never Stop Dodging here today, and I'm going to be taking a look at all the LFs who are kind of getting into a point where they're kind of old, not really used as much, not really as good as when they first released, and see whether they need to have a Zenkai Awakening or a unique Platinum equip to try and like bring them back and make them once again ridiculous and want to be used in the meta. We have just gotten the LF Vegeta Zenkai, and I've got to say, he was a Zenkai, well, he was an LF that needed Zenkai Awakening for a long time, and they didn't do a bad job with his Zenkai or anything. There's a lot of like opinions towards this unit because there are, I can see how you can really like the unit and I can see how you really dislike the unit. He's a unit who can do a ton of damage, can just tear in your team, but if he gets to a point where he's not really getting that damage going anymore, he's used his Ultima, he doesn't really have much going after that and just pretty much dies because he doesn't do too good of a job of tanking. But this is what I kind of want to see, what would happen if we brought some of these units back with a Zenkai or a unique equipment. So first of all, let's take a look at Super Saiyan Full Power Brody. I've got to say, this dude is a terrifying unit. If you have him at a lot of stars, you have it so that you know how to use him. He's on a good team, probably not movies nowadays, probably some iteration of Super Saiyan team, and he still does pretty crazy things. And I think if he got a unique equipment, like, I know he's got access to a platinum equipment, but what I'm talking about is not sort of an equipment, because if we take a look at this equipment, it's for Blue movies, so it's not specifically tied down just to him. I'm talking about one that buffs this Broly specifically. If he gets a unique equipment that maybe makes it so that he, I don't know, he's got a ton of card draw speed, so he wouldn't have like card draw speed or anything like that. He's definitely gonna need like more strike, maybe like card reduction on his strikes and whatnot. Make it so that his strikes pop off and he will be terrifying, because he already, with all this kit, is like, look at all these, plus 50% damage inflicted against Saiyans, plus 50% strike damage inflicted against all non-Saiyan characters, plus 20%, 20%, 20%, like, he just does damage, and his strike damage is the most deadly thing in his arsenal. So if they bring him back, make him an absolutely ridiculous attacker, I would not be surprised at him being seen a lot more in PvP, but they need to work it pretty well for him. But I don't think he needs a Zenkai yet, at least not like in the next few LFs that need a Zenkai. So that's what I think about him. Vegeta Blue. Now this is a unit who I think does need a Zenkai rather than a unique equip. A unique equip could be good for him as well. Maybe he could use both, because him being the 2nd anniversary's main headline unit, he would be pretty darn interested to see him make a comeback. But I have to say, he was an absolutely terrifying unit to come across. It's this ability right here. So with his strikes, I think he gains 5 ki every time he uses it. Here it is, here, this here. He gains 5 ki each time, and then I think upon landing a strike a couple of times, he gets a strike card again and again. So you have never-ending combos with him. So that's why I think to Zenkai this unit, you have to be very careful of what you're doing, because with that constant rush of strikes, if they make it so that he does a ton of strike after Zenkai and then just tears people with this strike, he's going to do a never-ending combo, take away half your team's health, and you haven't even hit him yet. Like, that's not fun. You don't want him to absolutely be broken. So maybe for now, just give him a unique platinum equip that maybe gives him some card draw speed, makes it so that he can do a bit more damage, a bit more tanking, and overall just be a very good, solid unit that you can bring who rivals Ultra Gogeta in terms of like the positions for Fusion Warrior and whatnot. So yeah, that's interesting to see if a unique equipment can actually revive this dude, because he's not too bad, but not as good as he once was. Now, Kid Buu, I actually think Kid Buu is very underrated. He is very good. You need stars on him, which is the issue. He hasn't been featured on too many banners, and I feel like that's the main think about this dude, he just hasn't got enough stars on him. I think I only have him 3-starred and he's alright, but the damage he takes is too crazy. So I honestly think they need to release him on more banners for you to get, just in case you go for someone like for the LF full power Jiren up. I believe he was a unit on there, and if I had pulled him, that would have been great. I would have taken that. So that's what I'm down for. Release him more. But I think this dude could use a unique platinum equip. I don't even think he has access to any. Okay, he does have this one, but this one I think is more for strike-based units. Yeah, he is typically a blast-based. This strike defense, and blast defense, and key recovery will be great for him. But this final slot isn't really what he wants. So you'd still offer him this one, but a unique equip that increases his blast damage, makes it just absolutely, just make his blast damage be absolutely ridiculous. Give him some special move damage as well. Maybe the final one is special move damage, ultimate move damage, and then like more damage against Saiyans or something like that. Something that just makes it so that he has more of an appeal, because this dude, with his constant gain of ki, his green card giving him card draw speed, I think recovering vanish as well, it's pretty darn deadly if you know how to fully utilize this dude. Like, restores vanish 4 times, restores health, gives card draw speed, gives more damage. It's an absolutely ridiculous green card. So making full use of that green card makes him absolutely terrifying, and of course he's just a damage dealing beast. So making so that he gets a bit more defensive, more blast damage, and he's back in the game for sure. Vegeta Blue. Now, I think he's probably one of the best aged LFs in the game. Has a ton of value. He doesn't do as crazy damage as he once does. Like, it makes sense that he has fallen off quite a bit. Look at the meta, it's absolutely ridiculous. But against a lot of units out there, this dude can perform pretty darn well. You want to try and build him as strike based as you want, or as defensive as you want, or try and mix the two together, because this dude, he does need a bit of defensive help. He needs a bit of that strike equipment and everything to make it ridiculous. But I feel like everyone's asked for this, a unique equipment for him that gives him card draw speed for, like, it doesn't have to be like permanent card draw speed, or maybe make it so that the final slot for the one is like it does more damage, takes less damage, and then like if you get the third slot, he gets card draw speed just maybe permanently. But I'd suggest do it for a 60 timer count or something like that. Something that shows that he's getting card draw speed and makes it so that he will be a menace. Like, think about it, he comes in, he gets half back, he gets key, that key gain on top of like all the damage he could do, all the extra cards and everything is ridiculous. And with some of the equipment, he's already got this platinum equip available to him and a lot of powerful awakened ones. So with that combined with these, he would be fantastic, one of the units you want to use, because you still see this dude quite a lot, and it make you definitely want to run this dude over Mardube, for example, on Fusion Warriors and whatnot. So definitely he needs a unique. I'd say he probably needs a unique next, if anything. So yeah, that's what I think about Vegeta Blue. Now, UI Goku, this is an interesting one, because I honestly think he's a contender for a unit who needs Zenkai Awakening more than a unique platinum, because I feel like a unique platinum would have to give him a lot of defense, a lot of like attack and everything to kind of bring him back to wherever he was. Because don't get me wrong, I don't think he's terrible, I don't think he's like the worst unit in the game or anything like that, but out of all the LFs I'm thinking of, he's one of the ones that I think is at the towards the top of the list of needs as Zenkai. And I feel like that's mainly because look at the teams he's on. Sun Family, he is not going to be used over the Blue Boys. To be honest, Blue Boys just absolutely replaced this dude on all of his core teams. Like, you can maybe try and run him on Universe Survival Saga, but then you got the LF full power Jiren for that, so I don't see why you'd ever use this dude. On Mono Purple itself, the Mono Purple team consists of Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta, the Blue Boys, and LF Super Vegeta. I don't know why I forgot that. It's because actually you can have that event exclusive coat Goku instead of that Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. He brings that defensive capability and more gain of Dragon Balls from your opponent. So I feel like those are the main units you want to use for Mono Purple. I see this dude now and again, but honestly, he just doesn't create anymore. He's not as good as what he used to be. Doesn't do crazy good damage. Like on Mono Purple, he can do some decent damage, hurt your opponents, but it's mainly the blue boys that need it. So if this dude got a Zenkai, I feel like it'll probably match up with the 4th anniversary. Because think about it, they released a new Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, and this dude gets a Zenkai. It would fit with the theme well, so that's why I think he would get a Zenkai rather than a unique platinum. I feel like a unique platinum would just have to give him too much, and I feel like that's a bit too much for a unique platinum to give, because if he gives a ton of damage, a ton of defenses, card draw speed, or key recovery, or vanish recovery, or anything like that, I feel like it's gonna be a lot for this dude, and it'll be like you might as well have just Zenkai him and fit in with a huge celebration instead. So I feel like that makes more sense than rather than waiting a year, then like in September or some random time he just randomly gets announced that he's getting a Zenkai. But honestly, I don't think he's going to be the next LF to get a Zenkai. I feel like there's another unit who I'll talk about in the future. Well, later on. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we'll talk about it soon. You don't have to worry about it. Rose Goku Black. Honestly, I think this dude needs just a unique plat. At the moment, he's not a terrible unit at all. I feel like once you have him pretty started up, he is annoying to come across. That nullification of endurance, the strike damage is actually pretty darn impressive. His kit is nice. Like, he has a chance of destroying Dragon Balls, I believe, with his strike. It's pretty horrible to come across this guy in a lot of situations if he's like just constantly doing damage to you, catching you with that green card, so he goes type neutral with his blue, which is a very annoying blue to get off because it is like portion damage to your team. I feel like they need to utilize that, make it so that his blue card is ridiculous, make it just do a ton of damage, make it so that his strike damage is crazy, and give him some more defenses with his unique equip, and that's all you basically need. Obviously the third slot would be pretty ridiculous, like special move damage, ultimate move damage, and like maybe it says like, I don't know, I'm not too sure how they're doing. Maybe extend the effect of bleed or something like that, something unique to this guy that'll make him ridiculous. There's a lot of things I'm thinking about, that's why I can't think of one thing specifically, but Legends will be able to make it pretty darn good for him. Well, they could and they couldn't, you know how Legends is. But yeah, that's all I think Rose needs, a unique platinum equipment, because this dude is almost a year old. I think he might in a couple of weeks, because I believe he released in March last year, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, he's almost a year old, so that'll be pretty darn good for him if he got a unique equipment. Now the final LF I'm considering, and this is the LF that I think needs a Zenkai next. Vegeta that transforms into Super Saiyan 2 Margin Vegeta. Honestly, he is still a pretty dangerous unit if you have him pretty high starred. He does nice strike damage, especially once he's transformed. The strike damage is crazy, and don't forget that blue card. I feel like with a Zenkai, his strike damage would be absurd. His blue card would just end careers, and he'd definitely be a contender for a great Zenkai. I feel like he could potentially surpass this green Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta Zenkai, because I feel like he just had a bit more value to him in terms of transforming, in terms of how crazy he already does when dealing damage. Like, that blue card is absolutely ridiculous, one of the most hard-hitting blue cards. Still in this game, I feel like his blue card is very powerful considering how old he is. But yeah, this dude needs a Zenkai, and if he's the next unit to get a Zenkai, Vegeta family, well, Vegeta clan are going to be eating really good, like, especially if he buffs blue Vegeta clan members, because, you know, Sword of Hope Trunks paired up with him would be an absolutely ridiculous combo. So that's what I think about these LFs, whether how to like kind of bring them back into the meta so that they're more used, not really just overthrown by all these new meta powerful units, and kind of make it so that you can have that variety of characters that you want to bring, and kind of save them from where they are at the moment, just in the unused pile that no one really cares about. So other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. If you want to see more in the future, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.